Short duration, acute ulcer from trauma with cellulitis. Long duration, chronic venous ulcer with slow healing. Painful ulcers can be acute, with sudden onset and intense discomfort. The Arterial ulcer is rare, extremely painful, and often linked to hypertension. Painless ulcers can have various underlying causes. Trophic ulcers are caused by poor circulation. Syphilitic ulcers are from a bacterial infection. Each has distinct characteristics for diagnosis. Tell me about your abdominal pain. When did it start?
It began about 3 days ago and it's been getting steadily worse.
I see. How would you rate the severity, and does it affect your daily activities like walking, eating, or bathing? Fever suggests acute inflammation or infection. Body temperature rises as the immune system activates. White blood cells arrive to combat the invaders.
First, assess the quantity. Here, it's profuse, spreading to several centimeters intracellular, and the color is green, suggesting a Pseudomonas infection. Finally, the odor is foul, confirming the untreatment.
Check for pallor, a sign of anemia. Next, inspect for jaundice in the sclera. Press the ankle to check for oedema. Clubbing. Check for fever and assess nutritional status, including weight and BMI. First, assess the radial pulse by placing your fingers on the wrist. Next, measure blood pressure by inflating the cuff and listening. Examine peripheral pulses in the neck. We begin the local examination of the ulcer by inspecting the site. Venous ulcers are typically found around the heel and metatarsal heads. Note the differences in their appearance and location. Tuberculous ulcer, neck, axilla, groin. Rodent ulcer, BCC. Pressure sore, sacrum, heel, buttocks. To measure the vertical length, place the caliper's jaws on the top and bottom edges. Next, rotate the block to measure the horizontal width. Finally, measure the depth by placing the jaws on the front and back faces. Suggestive ulcer, vertical oval. Venous ulcer, circular. Tuberculous ulcer, irregular. Malignant ulcer, serpiginous. Spreading or healing ulcer. A solitary, large ulcer with raised edges and central necrosis is characteristic of a malignant ulcer. In contrast, multiple ulcers are often venous or tuberculous in origin. Observe the junction between normal skin and the ulcer edge. It is irregular in contour, yet well-defined, showing a clear transition from healthy tissue. Rose-crusted border and the color change as it meets the ulcer base. Everted squamous cell carcinoma. Inflamed spreading ulcer. Syphilis bites. Tuberculosis nibbles. The slope from floor to margin. A healing ulcer often presents with a sloping edge. A punched-out edge, typical of defined vertical borders. Finally, overhanging the base. This is an everted squamous cell carcinoma. It is inflamed and has a spreading ulcer. Use this mnemonic: syphilis bites, tuberculosis nibbles. This is healthy granulation tissue, red and moist, a sign of healing. Here is slough, a yellow stringy layer of dead tissue. This black leathery area is necrotic tissue. Finally, an exposed tendon or bone is visible. Serous, clear, watery, and slightly yellowish fluid. Serosanguinous, a mix of clear and pinkish or light red fluid. Purulent, lake red fluid surrounding skin. Look for eczema, oedema, pigmentation, inflammation, scars, varicose veins. First, note the dry, scaly patches of eczema. Observe scars and varicose veins.
Ulcers vary in tenderness. Acute ulcers are tender. Chronic ulcers are usually non-tender. Malignant ulcers become tender in later stages. Assess tenderness to guide diagnosis.
Warmth indicates inflammation. Induration or hardness suggests carcinoma, fibrosis, or Hunterian chancre. First, assess induration by pressing with your fingertips in a circular motion. Check fixity by lifting the tissue. No movement indicates fixed to the chest. Finally, measure depth in millimeters using a scale. First, check the periosteum for signs of periostitis. Next, examine for osteomyelitis within the bone. Finally, check the cortex for abnormal bone thickening.
We begin by assessing the adjacent joint, checking for any limitations in active and passive movement. Next, the regional tender, shoddy, and discrete nodes. These findings suggest causes such as acute infection or syphilis.
Matted, tuberculosis, stony hard, metastatic carcinoma, not enlarged, basal cell carcinoma.
First, assess peripheral pulses to check for arterial insufficiency. Palpate the dorsalis pedis pulse here. Next, examine for varicose veins and a stand patient upright.
Let's check your sensation. Can you feel it? Yes, I feel it. Now, muscle power. Push against my hand. Good. Let's check reflexes. Now, please walk across the room. Thank you. That's all. Healthy granulation tissue is bright red, bleeds on touch, and has a serous discharge. Unhealthy granulation is pale, has a purulent discharge, and is often slough-covered. This is protruding granulation tissue, a key feature of pyogenic granuloma. It forms a localized red swelling on the skin. This swelling is fragile and bleeds very easily. We'll start with a swab for culture and sensitivity. Next is AFB staining and cytology. Now, an edge biopsy for further analysis. We'll do F-ray check on the lymph nodes, and finally CBC and hemoglobin. Key values: hemoglobin should be greater than 10 gram-pol. Serum albumin should be greater than 3 grams per deciliter. The chest X-ray lymphlamation. Mantoux test for TB exposure. Finally, vascular Dopplers. Trophic neuropathic ulcers are painless, punched out, and deep, often seen in diabetic feet. In contrast, pressure sores are stage 1 to 4, based on the depth of tissue damage. Stage 3 reaches fat, and stage 4 exposes bone. Diabetic ulcers are associated with neuropathy, infection, ischemia, and osteomyelitis. Neuropathy causes loss sensation, increasing injury risk, while osteomyelitis affects bone. A tuberculous ulcer has undermined edges, as seen here. It produces a yellow caseous discharge. Palpation reveals matted, non-tender lymph nodes. These features are characteristic of tuberculosis. Milanese ulcer is a rapidly spreading, painful postoperative ulcer. Tropical ulcer is seen in malnourished patients in tropical countries. Arterial ulcer, a painful calf ulcer associated with hypertension. Bairnsdale, or Buruli ulcer, caused by Mycobacterium ulcerans. Lupus vulgaris is a form of cutaneous tuberculosis. It presents with reddish-brown plaques, often on the face, with central atrophy and scarring. Basen's is another form. It features painful, indurated nodules on the lower legs that can ulcerate.